we need to be so careful with our words. I think in our culture today, and most of us would agree, I think most of you would agree, that we've become too coarse. We've become too free. The word self-restraint is kind of lost from our vocabulary. We think if we feel it, we need to say it. That's been valued in our culture. That's been lifted up and honored. But the flip side of that is when we say what we feel, it can be harmful. And we're not thinking about the consequences of our words as we did in previous generations. And so I think in marriage, it's especially important that we guard our tongues, that we're very careful if we talk about our husbands. So if you go to your women's group and people are sharing prayer requests, if you share a prayer request about your husband, it better be worded very, very carefully, because that's not the place for you to bring him and put him on display in all of his weaknesses and say, will you pray for my husband? That's not what God calls us to do. God wants us to pray for our husbands, but he needs us to do it and wants us to do it in a way that's very protective of who he is as a man and doesn't expose his flaws unnecessarily.
And sometimes that happens in conversations where there's
Yes,
just
it
joking
can.
going
Yes, it
on.
can.
And you'll hear women saying, oh, my husband, whatever. And just a caution to be really, really careful not to put that man in a negative light